Hey y'all, guess what time it is? It's the Grolic Saves the World time.
All right, the Grolic saves the world.
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're getting fixed, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake while the Grolic saves the world. We're getting fixed, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake while the Grolic saves the world. We're getting fixed, our worries are nixed. Let's have some cake while the Grolic saves the world.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Grolic Saves the World, a podcast where we better the world around us by bettering ourselves. I'm Adam Caton Holland.
My name
I'm
is Ben
Andrew
Roy.
No, stop it,
I
guys.
said I was going second.
You did not
I said
say
I was going second.
You said
before
you
we
were going
started.
in second. You told me you were going second, and I normally go second. And I was like, "Yeah, you
Said
can
and
go
told,
second."
That's the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
You told me it was a demand, and so what I did was I came in at second as well, just to let you know you can't just come right in right before
Well,
and
guess what?
push
I was
me
also
around.
Second, so looks like I snuck
Yeah,
in.
no,
There
you
were
snuck
2
in, but no
seconds.
one knows who the fuck you are because you guys talked over each other. They think it's Adam Caton Holland and 2 assholes who are arguing about second place.
Ben Orvin Roy. It's an easy equation.
I mean, and you pretty much just did describe the podcast, which is Adam and 2 assholes arguing.
Nope, that's
Yeah.
not it at all. This podcast thrives on the relationship and dynamism of the 3 of us just operating at a high
All right,
level.
all right. Fine. I'll go last on this one, but just this time because people expect a certain way of doing things. What are we doing right now?
Yeah,
if
but
we
you create new neural pathways when you mix up.
God, you're an asshole.
And
No,
that
you-
in itself is a measure of self-improvement. But listen,
I can't
Andrew,
finish this sentence.
we've got a lot of new listeners, and they're all
Okay.
lost. I'm Adam Caton Holland. Andrew, you go now. Who are you?
I'm Andrew Orbital.
And Ben, who are you?
I'm Ben Roy, but I normally go second, and I want you all to expect that for the next episode. So that's all I'm
Next
saying.
time when
That-
you listen, Ben will be going second because
That's
we
all
have
I'm saying.
clearly already
Since there's
become
so
your
many new
favorite
listeners,
podcast.
I don't think we should establish a whole new
Locked
set.
in at second
of
place.
rules.
Wow.
I think if
He's
you've
bringing
listened to these episodes, and even if you're new, you can probably tell these guys kind of like to run roughshod over me. They just make me jump on board with whatever bullshit they're into, and I'm getting frankly sick of it. We had an episode where we went and did jujitsu with Ben. A lot of people don't know this, but he's a Miyagi level jujitsu practitioner.
No, I am not a Miyagi.
And
level
he
dude.
takes advantage of the teenage boy who lives in his apartment complex to make him
Yep,
wash
and
his
he gets
car.
drunk on sake and cries about his dead wife. Andrew is an avid Dungeon and Dragons player, a Miyagi level D&D
Well,
type of guy.
let's-
I only
would
have
not
one
say that.
reference
Yeah,
for expertise.
and I think that's just not accurate.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've done Dungeons and Dragons. We've done Ben's passion, which is jujitsu. I had to go wrestle with you guys. I had to go play D&D.
It's
Let
a
our
hard life
minds
for you,
wrestle a little bit.
yeah,
And it's my turn to just impose what I want to do to better the world. And what I do to better the world.
get blasted and watch
Oh.
90s music videos in your basement.
Fine,
All
I
right,
guess
if
we
have
will,
to.
but my
Come
wife
on
is going
over.
to.
You know,
How many
lately I've
times
been. I've
do
been
we have to
pivoting.
watch this?
I've been
train
pivoting
video?
into NPR Tiny Desk concerts, Andrew. Thank you. I get drunk and watch Tiny Desk
Oh.
concerts.
I was so excited to hear Bush's Machine Head while just working through my 8th IPA.
I mean, I know you're mocking me, but that sounds cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm excited to do that with you.
I was going to say, like, Adam genuinely.
Yeah, I know. I was
There's no
presenting
problem
it
with that.
interested.
as a real thing.
Okay, so if
No,
we're not coming to
it's
your
not
house,
that.
Fine.
It's
then
my
what's the
other
challenge.
passion, which you habitually mock, which is the passion of bird watching, ornithology.
I don't
I
I support this.
well,
I got
then-
you
I
some
do.
Lego birds for Christmas.
I do mock it. I mean, I
All
do.
right, he's 50%
But I do it-
mocked.
But I
Yeah.
do it in a loving manner. I don't think it's. I mean, we all have things
all
that
have-
are. It's like, yeah, like you know,
Dude, we're
um,
straight white men. We just lean into weird hobbies as character defining until we eventually die. And mine is turning into bird watching because
I
I'm
mean,
like
you're
the-
kind of in the late stage one. Are you feeling okay? Because
I know.
You know, I mean, bird watching is usually the last hobby.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I like baseball, historical nonfiction, and bird
Oh,
watching.
man.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a fucking
get checked
85-year-old
out.
man.
Make sure
Yep.
to get all of
And-
the screenings if you can.
And the only step after that is it sure is cold in this sauna. That's what's next.
Oh, it's not on, Grandpap. It's not on.
Yeah,
And it's not a sauna. You're just in the tough
It's in
shed in the backyard.
All right.
I'll be yelling at Malcolm not to touch the thermostat in no time.
So
Yes, it's well documented. You love bird watching.
Yeah,
Some great bits about it.
America's
all-
foremost bird watching comedian. I'm starting to just put that out now.
and
Yeah, I mean,
I've
there's no competition. So
Nope.
I've wanted to ask you this for a while because truthfully, in all the years we've known each other, I do not know the answer to this. How did you even get into bird watching?
Well, it
the
it
cool
started
kids at
when
school were doing it. Just kidding. Go ahead.
it started when a golden eagle killed both my parents. We had seen a play downtown, and
Oh
you
my
remember
God, you're
Denver was
Batman?
very, very dangerous at the time, and I watched as a golden eagle killed my parents on the street, and then I started dressing up as one and trying
Oh, that's
to
right.
fight
You got the
crime where
shit
I
kicked
saw
out
it.
of you as the guy dressed as the golden eagle.
Right,
down
and
in
after
West
that, I was
Colfax.
like,
Yeah.
well, birds are still cool, whether or not I had success at this.
I would love that if that were your comic origin
The
story.
golden eagle. Yeah.
So no, but
Shit.
for real, how did you get into bird watching? Like what?
It's not as cool a story as that. I read this book, and I think I may have given it to you at some point, Ben. It was called Grail Bird.
Oh
It's
yeah,
about-
you did.
It's
give me
about the
that.
ivory-billed woodpecker, which, if you become a bird nerd, it's like the Sasquatch of birds. It's like it was ruined. It's everybody thinks it's extinct. People in the backwoods of the swamps of Arkansas and Louisiana would be like, "No, I see that bird," but
Much
most
like
science-
UFOs and Sasquatch.
Right. It was
Yeah,
very,
totally.
it was very like urban myth. And then a book came out called Grail Bird, which is by this dude. I can't even remember his name, but he was the head of the Cornell Department of Ornithology, which is the Harvard of birding. And he basically rediscovered the bird. Anyway, I read this book and it was just fascinating. And I recommend it to anybody. It's a good adventure story and magnificent obsessions and all that. And then I just like something clicked. I was like, oh wait, birds are cool as shit. That's so fascinating. And so that book just opened it up. And then I've gotten very into bird watching since, which is
But the Woody Woodpecker is based on that bird, right?
yes, yeah. I told Ben that, and I have a tattoo of said bird on my
Woody
shoulder
Woodpecker?
blade. Yep,
yeah,
I did it myself.
It's-
It's a stick and poke.
it says. It
Wow,
says.
that's so rustic of you, Adam.
No. It's a Woody. It says troubles are coming,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's like a hickish tattoo. It's not.
It's sandwiched between my Tweety and my Taz.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good, nice trio.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not canon. Woody didn't exist in that universe, but it's
understand.
still a cool idea.
Let's
No,
go
I have
ahead
the
and
ivory-billed
shut
woodpecker.
Andrew's feed off for the rest of the episode now after that comment. Part of the canon, the Hanna-Barbera canon.
you will respect the HBC.
So
So
that-
after that, I got sort of into bird watching, and like my mom worked at the Denver Zoo growing up. We're a big animal family, but birds never did it for me. I couldn't give a fuck about birds. But after reading that book, I just got very into it. And as you travel, you start realizing there's different birds all over the place. It's just kind of, in my mind, like a treasure hunt all the time. You're paying attention, seeing what's out there. There's something new flies into your yard you haven't seen. It's like, holy shit, what's that? You look it up. I enjoy all of it. So
Yeah,
Outside, your car is just spackled with bird shit. What's
No.
this treasure?
when I traveling with you so much and being around you, now I do it because you literally do this all the time. Like you're like, and you'll spot them. You'll just be like, whoa, check that out. And just start wandering off towards a tree. And sometimes it's not because there's a bird. You just,
going through something.
yeah. No, but you've got me doing it. I mean, I will see a strange bird. The only thing is I don't own an almanac or whatever to like look up
Not an almanac, just a bird guide.
bird guide, an almanac, a sports almanac.
Oh, you're big bird better over here?
Well, if I want to know who's on the Cardinals team, yeah, you got to look up a sports book. But
Well, you will
I
remember that was kind of the main plot of Back to the Future 2 is Biff gets a hold of that birding almanac and just bets on birds in the future and makes a killing.
no, but I don't have a bird guide, so I don't. I never know exactly what I'm looking at, but I enjoy like seeing a bird I haven't seen before and being holy shit. You know,
Yeah, you have to be
that-
pretty cynical to be like, birds suck. Like there's a wide variety of them, just like any animal life. And so if you're at all interested in nature, I feel like it's not hard to sell you on birds. But
And
I think-
Denver. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like there's degrees of bird watching, like any sport. Like some people are just very like backyard bird watchers, and you watch your bird feeder, and that's it. Other people go out.
Extreme X Games level.
Well, I mean, yeah, like going. Some people competitively count the number of birds that they see. That's called a big year. Like that movie and that book is about trying to see as many birds as you can in North America in a year.
That's
That's a lot of jizz. I've heard your act.
Nailing it.
you should probably
Nope. Let's
Explain-
not explain it, and we'll just keep moving the podcast along.
We could play that clip at the break and explain exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's true.
I think yeah, that is so interesting. Denver has a lot of interesting birds.
Sure.
And a lot of birds of prey, a lot of hawks and
Like that goddamn golden eagle. That son of a bitch.
we don't talk about him.
You know,
Um,
Denver's good. You know, what's funny is like we lived in LA, and I think you guys know I didn't want to be living in LA the whole time. But LA's got incredible birding. You
Yeah.
wouldn't think so, but it's such a good birding city.
It's probably a big migration route, right?
Well, certainly with the oceans, like if birds get off track, which happens for thousands of miles sometimes, they'll hit the ocean and be like, "Oh fuck, I've really messed up." And
Way
Yeah.
to
that, like-
go, Lewis. That's the last time you're flying in front, you piece of shit.
But
Yeah,
then,
well,
then they're in that area for a while, and so like strange aberration, weird birds that shouldn't be there will wind up there, and that's like
yeah,
That's
and I've also
always so
heard that
sheepish.
not far, obviously it's not that far from the LA area, is the Salton Sea, which is a huge bird destination because it's a festering shithole of dead fish and sludge. So birds are drawn to that, right? I mean, like
that's 100% for sure. There's a dump on the border between Texas and Mexico. It's literally just a garbage dump. That's one of the best birding spots in the world. so we're going there.
So in this challenge,
on this challenge,
we're going to the border dump.
we're going to a border dump. We're gonna check out some birds, dude. No,
We're here in our blood-soaked hip waders.
But what I just the exact same way that jujitsu provides Ben with, I think, a little bit of refuge and helps anxiety and mental health and all of that. And I think, Andrew, you find an escapism and sort of just, I don't know, refuge in Dungeons and Dragons. This is mine. I like nothing more than watching birds. I like to go out birding alone. And I don't think you guys have ever gone what I would call proper birding. You guys are good friends.
I haven't
and you-
even gone improper birding.
Oh, dude, that's that true TV show, isn't it?
Improper birding is coming out.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
this
tried to get
season.
arrested while birding.
Yeah.
That's when you try to fuck the bird, and that is not
Yeah.
at all
Not-
kosher.
I'm not into it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like, you guys are smart dudes, and you appreciate. Andrew, you'll tell me about the birds in your yard, and but you're not like hostile like people I'll encounter who like fuck birds and fuck you. Like they take
Whoa.
a weird stance. But
You've been on the
I
road
don't
too
think-
long.
I don't
You've been
think either
talking
one
to
of you
too many
guys-
people about this
Yeah.
bird. You have to
Fuck
tell
you,
a lot of
fuck
people to
birds.
get that guy.
All right.
Dude, try to sell merch after one of my shows. See if you don't get one of those.
I went to we were on Spells was doing that small tour before Quarquar, and when we were in San Diego, I saw so many amazing birds. I saw an osprey in the wild, which was super awesome. I've never seen one up close, and
Hell yeah.
and I enjoy birds and seeing it. I'm not as into the outdoors.
You don't like going outdoors?
I mean, I like going outside in the city and stuff like that,
His
but
car to drive to jujitsu.
yes, and then hanging outside the jujitsu place on my way to my car. I like that too. But I'm not ever really been a big like camper, hiker, outdoorsy person. I grew up in that shit. You know, I mean, I think we spent I spent my entire childhood and through my teen years partying in the middle of the fucking woods, camping, getting lost I've been lost before in the woods for quite some time. Soaking wet, which is, they tell you, it's not good to do, and they were right.
That's not a good approach.
And so I think I always wanted to move to a city. I wanted to be in the middle of it all and like be around other people and not in a rural area. So I think I've kind of shied away from things that are outdoorsy like that. And
Yeah, well,
Probably going
nature,
to a
like-
park.
Yeah, it's not going to be, I'm not going to drag you out and off the grid, but there's, you got to get into some open space and leave the city to do some proper birding.
All right.
But like,
Well, what's this challenge?
the challenge is we embrace birding as a team and see if you guys think this is a good way to proceed and it's good for your mental health. So we have to go out early in the morning to an open
Already hate
space
it.
of my choosing. We're bringing binoculars and we're looking for birds. We're not just like, oh, we saw a bird by chance. We're going out looking for them and we're going to see what we see. It's fall migration season. The birding is perfect right now.
Okay. Question. Can I wear a cool hat?
Dude, that's all birders do.
Yes. I'm into it. Fuck you, Andrew. We get to wear cool hats.
Can I bring a thermos of decaf coffee and an egg sandwich in waxed paper?
And we can listen to NPR on the way. It's
Wow.
going to be
Well,
perfect.
that's pretty cool.
Better
I-
and better.
Yeah,
How about we
guys,
just
a real
do
How
the-
PBS morning.
early? How early are we talking? 9:30 a.m. 10?
Nah, motherfucker. We're going to get there at like 7 at the
No.
latest.
Get
7:30.
there at
No,
7.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like vacation hours. No.
No,
What?
that's the birding is most active at dawn and at dusk. So you're lucky I'm not making you get there in the dark. But we're going to get
Okay.
there
What,
early.
What about dusk? Let's go at like 5.
That could be swayed that way as
Get
well.
a pizza.
Okay.
I'll work on the parameters, but we're going birding.
Yeah, that's
Most
that.
of my
I'm not-
knowledge about birds comes from the ones my dogs have mauled or killed, and I have had to rush to the emergency vet.
Why don't we do that? Why don't we just go to Anders and have egg sandwiches and watch his dogs maul yard birds?
I
That's-
have been working comedically with you for 16 years, and you still stun and surprise me. Egg sandwiches as the choice. Nice one, buddy. I have no idea why that's what we're eating in that scenario, but I like it. I'm continue to be surprised by you comedically.
It's a morning breakfast.
We should do a sub challenge on this, and just to make it fun and giggly, and typical of what we do.
We tickle each other the whole time. Because if we laugh, the birds will leave.
No,
So-
I think
worth a
we're
shot.
also throughout the birding adventure not allowed to make any sexual references
all right.
throughout all of
I
it.
mean, that's going to be hard because as we're about to hear in Adam's clip, this is a sexually charged pastime.
It
I
is.
mean,
We
it's
have
a
to
lot
take
of-
this.
Yeah, it's
lot
going to
of
be tough because it's being served up to us on a silver platter, and yeah,
Yep.
all right.
But if that happens, you get hit with the weapon spatula, and I think we bring the weapon
You
spatch
want me to bring
with
out my
us.
field spatch? I've got
And-
a Cabela's camping spatch. I'll bring.
You bring that along, and I want to see some birds. You better
You know-
take me to, because I'm telling you right now, Adam, if we
Yep.
go all the way up there,
Yep.
and I have to listen to Andrew talk about his breakfast sandwich all the way up there, and about how his coffee was not warm like it should have been, and about how
It's gonna
he's
be warm. I'm
hungry.
putting it in a thermos. I know how to. No, this is not going to be a thing.
If I go all the way up there and I don't see any cool goddamn birds, I'm going to be fucking pissed. And we're going back to my jujitsu challenge right there. I'm gonna beat
Whoa,
the dog
whoa,
shit
whoa,
out of both
whoa,
of
whoa.
you
I do
guys
not
in the
accept-
woods.
Wait.
I do not accept
I'm going to
that
beat the
part.
dog shit out of both of you guys in the
So
woods.
now you're just claiming that attacking us is bringing back an old challenge?
Mhm.
Also, cool birds is subjective, bro. Every bird's cool, so you already lose your stupid fucking
I
challenge.
wanna
Yeah,
see-
right. Pigeon.
I wanna
tell me
see-
why a pigeon can possibly be cool. I
Oh,
wanna
you
hear
mean a
this.
Eurasian collared dove? I'll tell you a lot of reasons.
Yeah. I'll tell you why
You can put a
it's-
dress on a whore. That doesn't make her a lady, Adam.
Okay, well, I didn't realize you were going to veer into tearing down sex workers. Thank you very much.
I don't understand why you think pigeons aren't cool. They're like the only bird that smokes cigarettes. They're the coolest bird. That's a city bird right there.
They are
and I,
pretty cool.
I like them.
All right. Here's correct me if I'm wrong, Adam. Here are the parameters of this challenge. We are going birding, probably early as hell in the morning.
Yep.
We have to bring binoculars. We have to make an earnest go of seeing birds, learning about birds, appreciating birds, opening our minds to the majesty of birding. And sub-challenge, nothing sexual must be said or done. No pantomimes, Ben. No humpy pantomimes, or you get hit with a spatula.
You can't. This is like when I added the part to the like challenge. I mean, it's just an unnecessary ad.
I don't
What
think
is
I've ever
wrong
been
with
in
my
Ben's
hips
presence
gyrating?
without him air humping. So that's part of it.
All right, I'm on board. So let's go ahead
listen to
and
Adam's bit so that our listeners can our
Oh,
listeners
yeah.
can learn about what we're talking about.
Yep, about jizz, general impression of size and shape.
Ain't that the truth? And we'll be back after the break.
Dad now, got to get cool dad habits, dad pastimes. That's why I've full-fledged embraced bird watching. Yeah, you're looking at an OG bird watcher up here, and I will not apologize for it. I now know enough about birds to know that I know nothing at all. I'll go birding with old men, 70 and 80-year-old dudes that put me in my fucking place. I'll be like, guys, I think I just saw a ferruginous hawk. They'll be like, really? Earlier, you thought a grackle was a red-winged blackbird. So why don't you get in the back of the line and speak when spoken to, boy? There's a term in bird watching which is so funny, you're going to think I'm making it up, but I'm not making it up. This term is jizz. And bird watchers use it all the time. It's not the jizz you're thinking of. It's GISS. And it stands for General Impression of Size and Shape. And it's a bird watching term. Like if you can't get the bird in your binoculars properly to identify it, it flew way too fast. Based off of jizz, you can be like, well, it had the jizz of a hawk. So let's say hawk. It had the general impression of size and shape. It was the size of a hawk. It flew like a hawk. It had the jizz of a hawk. And it's fucking hilarious. And I'll be out there with these men, and they're like, well, that had the jizz of a robin, so let's just say robin. Jizz of a spotted towhee, let's just say spotted towhee. Jizz, 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 all the time, jizz, jizz. And I'm laughing because I'm a child, but they're saying jizz so much, and it's funny to me. 9 times out of 10, these guys will identify a bird based off of jizz alone. And the one time that they can't, they just drink its semen. And then they know for sure what it is.
Get out of the trenches of tedious tasks like managing order fulfillment and start growing your business with ShipStation. They'll help increase profitability by automating your workflow with their simple, easy-to-use dashboard. With it, you can pretty much do everything you need to quickly and easily. Update order information, print labels, compare rates, optimize shipments, and even set up automatic delivery notifications. And it doesn't matter where you sell. Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, ShipStation can integrate pretty much anywhere online. Another great thing about ShipStation? They can help reduce costs with industry-leading discounted rates from some of the biggest mail carriers. You might even be able to get up to 89% off USPS and UPS rates. So, make this year your most profitable one yet. Sign up for your free 30-day trial at ShipStation.com and use the code Spotify. That's ShipStation.com with the code Spotify.
And we are back.
Savoring the fall foliage in City Park.
Through the miracle of podcasting, it's later. We are in Denver's City Park, the largest park in Denver.
Is this the largest park?
Ben, undeniably, the
Yeah.
largest
Yeah, it's
park
pretty
in
big.
Denver, Colorado.
It is massive.
Massive park, home to the zoo, home to the museum.
It's
Home
our
to us
central
right now.
park.
It's our central park. My high school is right there. I played baseball in this park growing up, soccer. I feel very at home here.
You can rent some paddle boats,
Well,
and then
not
there's
November, Ben. This guy. They shut it down for the season, but we're here outdoors.
God, you're an asshole.
Second half of the birding challenge, and how fitting to be outdoors for our
Now,
post
I want to
birding
ask you
experience.
before we get into this, talking about the challenge. Since we're in this park, and you know it so well, Adam, is this a good birding park?
Ironically enough, 0 birds in sight right now.
Oh, silly!
But
Andrew.
it's kind of midday, so that's not surprising.
They're around.
Oh, yeah, they're all at work. I forgot.
you'll definitely see a wide variety of birds.
Yeah, I
I've
feel
seen
like
the
there's
cormorants.
like a lake
I've
with
seen the cormorants here at City
Yeah.
Park,
Tons
kind
of
of famously.
cormorants, double-breasted. Yeah, I've seen all sorts of birds in here. I don't bird it that often because it's like right next to me, so I take it for granted. But yes, there's good birding to be had here.
Double-breasted, huh? Like a fine Tim Gunn suit. Make it work. Like
Oh, you took the high road on
that's
that
the
one.
call of the
You
Tim
did
Gunn.
take the high road. When you said double-breasted and then we're going somewhere, Andrew and I didn't think Tim Gunn was where
Oh,
we were
yeah.
gonna land
I mean,
on
I
that
hopped in
one.
the car. I thought we were going down one road.
Yeah,
but
That'd be
yeah,
so
yeah.
awesome if they were a Tim Gunn cormorant and you just hear them. That's how they sound. Make it work.
Yeah, they just have like a striped suit.
Yeah.
belly.
So let me pause this real quick. Is this if we say anything sexual, double entendre-esque, we get whapped?
That's right. Thank you for the reminder, Andrew. Although we had a slight change of plans, totally forgot the spatula while birding, but it's all good because the spatch is fucking here now, which means sub challenge is on. You dodged a bullet, Ben.
I didn't make it sexual because if we make sexual references,
Double
You get-
entendres.
you
yeah.
get or double entendres. You get hit with the weapon spatch.
I thought
The
it was
official
a thwapping
sur la
spatch.
Oh, it's a
table weapon
thwapping
spatch.
now? I
Before
thought
we
it was
go
a
further,
weapon
because this is
spatch.
becoming iconic in Garlic Saves the World lore. Is it a whapping or a thwapping spatch?
It's a whapping spatch.
Whapping spatch. Because the Smithsonian is going to want to know.
I mean, it's a
Whapping spatch.
cruel one. You could see it's got this metal handle. It's a mean one.
That thing hurt.
Ben and I mean, if we're being honest about this challenge, Ben and I both made sexual jokes while we were out birding. We
Right,
went
well-
birding.
Well, let's fill them in. We went birding in Prospect Park, not the park we're in. It's Prospect Park out in Wheat Ridge, Colorado.
Beautiful park.
Beautiful park. And I had been there before birding with some friends from the Audubon Society of Denver, so I knew it'd be good. Turns out Andrew goes to that park all the time, so he knew it. And we went and we birded at dusk for about an hour and a
I had
half.
not been to this park.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful. I mean, like you said, there's 2 or 3 separate bodies of water
Mhm.
in it. Once you're in it, you feel like you're not in the middle of the city.
Right,
Like you're not
it's
in the
easy to
suburbs.
drop out in there.
Yeah.
Great body hiding.
Oh,
park.
those reeds?
Yeah.
They wouldn't find a body in those
Yeah,
reeds.
they
for
disappear.
months.
But it was a really, really pretty park and a beautiful evening, too. I
Sure.
mean, we should just say that right now. One of those iconic.
I like
Crisp-
Ben's coming off as a salesman for the concept of evenings.
Yeah.
I like it.
One
a
of those
beautiful-
evenings.
Let me
that
stop you right there. Let's
guys-
just talk about the sun glowing over those mountains.
And there was a crispness in the air. There wasn't a lot of.
Why are you hard selling me on evenings? I'm a fan of
I'm
evenings
just saying
already.
it when it comes to listen. There are some people who are morning people.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? There are
Not-
some
not
midday
me.
people, but evenings where it's at. You know what I mean? Because you're heading into the funnest part of the night.
You
Yeah.
go,
Like
you're
the
veering
funnest
into
part of the
your
day.
bullshitting voice, and I'm not
No,
trusting
no,
it.
no, no.
Now I don't like
I'm not.
evenings.
Listen, you pick any time of day you want. I'm just saying evening is where it's at. It's where all the cool people
What's
are
it
going
going to take to put you in this evening tonight?
I got to get you into this evening before the sun rises. I'll tell you that right now. We have a limited window.
You guys
I mean, you
laugh,
can pick
but
any evening you want, but this evening tonight, I think this is the one
this
for you.
is the night you want to get into this evening.
Tonight is the night.
Ben
that you wanna
Roy,
get into this
evening salesman.
evening salesman. Excuse me. Noticed you two seem to be having a nice time. Also noticed it's about 4:30 p.m. What do I gotta do?
Don't need to run home
What-
just yet because you know what's coming
What
on.
do I have
A
to do to
beautiful
put you
evening.
straight into this evening?
Just Ben in a suit approaching strangers in a park at dusk, trying to sell
trying to
them on the
sell them
evening.
on that evening.
I just, I don't know. I'd hate to see you miss this evening. I'd hate
Couldn't
to
help
see
but
you
see you
miss
take out your phone and snap a pic of the sun slinking down over there. So I know you're interested.
He's shaking a thermos of apple cider like a martini, like putting blankets around their shoulders.
Well, now that we've given Ron plenty to edit out,
Are you kidding me? Ben Roy Evening Salesman is my new favorite bit.
we'll get a meme of that up on
All right.
Patreon.
Totally. Somebody Photoshop Ben Roy evening sales.
In
Evening-
a showroom
evening
of
salesman.
evenings.
Okay, so we went out birding in Prospect Park. We brought binoculars. We brought bird books. Before we even get into it, junior ornithologist Ron Doyle, our producer, what a birder that guy.
He's a hell of a bird.
Never birded with him.
He
knows
brought
his shit.
binocs for me because I didn't bring any.
He brought
Yep.
I brought extra binocs, brought extra bird
Field
books.
glasses, if you will.
Just
I've
a
been
great
learning.
guy to have birding. And I knew that Ron knows birds, but I'd never been out birding with him. What a delight.
It is. He's got the
He's got good nest side manner, as we say.
He really does. He doesn't knock them out of the branch, and
No.
the birds appreciate that. Good nest side manner, just delicate
boy.
around the
Yeah, he
fragile
is.
nest.
He really. You don't have to walk on eggshells around this guy
Oh,
at
my
all.
Lord.
Doesn't
birds.
bird around the bush.
He goes straight to the point.
That wasn't
he's,
sexual. I was talking about actual bushes. I'm
no,
safe.
Flap him.
I'm safe.
I was shocked. He came fully prepared.
But Ron, I knew Ron was into birds. I guess I'll just ask, what did you guys think of the experience? How did you enjoy it?
Easily one of my favorite challenges we've done.
Hey.
I truly enjoyed doing this. I found it peaceful. I found it relaxing.
Yeah.
It involved evening, as you know. I don't
Here
want
we go.
Listen,
I knew there was
I
going to
don't
be an
wanna-
evening
no,
pitch.
I don't want to push it. I'm just saying, as far as times of day goes, evening is superior.
Yeah.
And we went out at. I found the quiet very relaxing. I found it meditative, and you kind of get out of yourself a little bit, out of your own head, because you're always looking up and looking in the grass and trying to see something new. What do we got here? We got something
Magpie.
squawking. Magpies. Hyper territorial. We learned that on our little walk.
Yeah, well, I fucking love that. And I could tell you were into it. And then immediately afterwards, and the next day, you were like texting about how you almost crashed your car
Yeah.
looking at birds.
Yeah.
Which is welcome to my world, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That's how
I
I'm gonna
know.
die.
I caught a silhouette of some sweet little something at the top of a tree.
Sure.
And I caught it just then. I was like, what is that? And then I looked up and ruh-roh, here comes a car. And I had to screech on the brakes. And then I didn't get a gander at that that little
How
piece
stoked
in
would
this
that
tree,
person have
but-
been though?
Wait a minute.
After the accident, if you're like, wait, hear me out. Check that out. Is that a chickadee or a finch?
He's talking about sweet little pieces up
He's-
at the top of the tree.
He said sweet little silhouette.
Does that veer into the sexual double
I'm
entendre?
flirting. I'm a flirty bird, but I don't know if I'm being.
I mean,
Dangerous. I guess it wasn't overt, but I
could you
sensed-
say it in a workplace at a cubicle about
I don't think he could. If he's like, get a load of this little sweet little piece over there, I feel like HR is
this
coming
is
down the hallway.
bullshit.
and I think you're right.
So
No,
Ben,
that's oh, you fucking
I
assholes.
don't know how to distance
Listen, a
swap.
sweet silhouette. You just come up. I'll put my mask on. But I think you guys are both
Get
being a little
masked to get
reactive.
hit. This is
Well,
just veering
listen,
into
we're trying to set a
BDSM
tone.
territory pretty fast.
We're trying to set a tone of non-tolerance for these dumbass sexual entendres. So I'm putting on my mask. You'll hear the difference in the audio. And I'm whacking over you.
I think that
You put on
you're-
your fucking mask, you dirtbag birder, and put your arm out. Where do you want it? On the
just
hand?
on the hand. Yeah. You fucker.
Let that be a lesson to you that we're not being sick perverts in this podcast. We're talking
right on
about
the
birds.
middle
I mean, that
knuckle.
one
I
was
hate the
borderline,
weapon
but yeah,
spec.
we have to establish our baseline.
I think if this is a sub challenge, we're not even going to tolerate flirting,
flirtating.
or flirtating.
That's like lactating, but flirting at the same time.
it's when you flirt with a lactating woman.
Oh,
Okay, wait a second. So how is that not?
Because I'm talking
partial-
about how we're not going to tolerate.
Yeah.
No,
we're talking
but
about what
you
you
just
can't do.
you're still like you could have said tolerating, but now you're giving examples and you're
I said you can't flirt with a lactating woman. That is not a sexual
Yeah,
double
there's nothing sexual
entendre.
about a lactating woman, you sick creep.
Yeah, you're the creep. That's a mother.
Yeah.
Andrew. What did
Wait,
you
wait,
think
wait.
about?
I will say I was going to ask Andrew what he thought about it, but I want to let the listener know Andrew had an air about him of kind of being above it all the whole time.
I agree with
Whoa,
you.
whoa, whoa,
Well,
whoa.
Came in
first
with
of
a
all-
camera,
He came with a camera. He did not have field glasses.
and we got all the photos. Very few bird photos in that camera. A lot of photos of us being pals and goofing. That's not what we were there to do.
yeah, what did you say about one photo of Adam and I walking on the trail?
Oh, I'll put it up. And they can see the caption. Nice try though. You're not gonna get me. You're not gonna get me to say something that's gonna
Oh,
get
was
me
it a
whacked.
sexual caption?
Yeah.
I saw that photo, and it's a picture of me and Ben kind of walking off down into a wooded area. Just it's a very,
It's very melancholy.
very
we're
melancholy.
both, but we're both cozy in coats.
Yeah.
Totally. It looked like the end of Mice and Men. Like I was going to put Ben down at the end of this. So I took him to his favorite place.
You say the rabbits are down here.
Yeah. Just like leading him down a
More
lane.
birds over here.
You said there's
Yeah.
rabbits.
I'll post those pictures for
But-
sure.
but
So
I agree.
it gives me no pleasure to be the contrarian on this challenge, but much like your opinion of the Dungeons and Dragons challenge, I thought the birding was fine, but it was like not for me. It
Okay.
was, and I think it's because for a few reasons. I walk a ton
Yeah.
with my dogs. I walk at that lake. I walk a Belmar Lake. I hike Apex Trail.
You're an outdoor dude.
I'm out in places where there are cool birds, and I see cool birds, and I think in my head, well, it's a cool bird.
Right.
I like that bird. Hey, cool bird. However, once they went actually birding, and it was time to like identify them in like their names and like, hey, who's making that call?
Yeah.
That I found my brain was not interested in. I guess I stop at cool bird. Like even that bird. I sent y'all the picture of that hawk or falcon or
Yeah.
kestrel I saw the other day. I don't even know what it is, but I saw it and I was like,
Pretty sure that's
cool
a hawk.
bird.
Yeah, but you don't want to try to identify it?
I guess not.
I
guess I'm not
agree.
interested in it.
I will say this about our birding experience. It was a bad day of birding. There wasn't a ton of good stuff out there.
Well, but let's
But
say
here,
this.
I was going to say, though, I did enjoy it. It was fun hanging out with my friends. We joked around. I got to admit, it was a beautiful evening. I'd gladly purchase it.
so you're a fan of evenings.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean,
Hell
that's
yeah.
On record.
anybody
Well,
who
that's
knows me
cool.
knows I'm
But
a
when
evening guy.
you just make sure that as you're going into evening that you let my boss know that I was the one who sold
helped you out.
on
Definitely. Yeah.
just
No,
so I
definitely.
get some
Is
of the
your
commission.
evening quota kind of
Well, I get commissions
Okay.
on the number of evenings I
On
sell to
evenings
people.
enjoyed. What a surreal episode this is.
We all did a little micro dose before the episode. Kind of our own personal sub challenge.
It's
so that
made
I
it
enjoyed that.
permanent
It was a
evening.
beautiful night. It was a nice walk. I did find myself taking more photographs of the muskrat we saw.
We saw
Pretty cool.
muskrats?
More into the muskrat. The sunset. My pals as
But
we were
that's
walking
not
around.
surprising. You're a rodent guy.
Yeah, well, my daughter has 2 pet rats, so I guess that does make me, by extension, a rodent guy.
Well, you're always trying to put us into new rodents. You're like, what what
I am.
what is it going to take
I
to
am.
get you
I
into
often
a gerbil?
evangelize for rats as pets. They make a great pet. They're very sweet. They
My little sister had rats.
naturally tame. They're a great pet. They get a bad rap, and when you see rats portrayed as villains in cartoons and stuff, it's hurtful. And I like to stop.
Yeah,
that.
portrayed
So
as
you're more of the Ratatouille guy.
Oh,
portrayed
yeah.
as villains.
See,
You
that's a
mean-
good
You
portrayal
mean
of.
Splinter,
a rat's
probably the
potential.
example of a good and wise man, but yeah, they're always portrayed as villains.
A rat man,
Yeah,
not a man.
he was a rat man. That's
a
what I'm
rat
saying. He was a rat. He wasn't a villain. He's the wise leader of a group of fighting ninjas, turtles.
I kind of agree with
Well,
you to
fuck
get it back
you.
on track. Because Ben's really struggling with that one. Let's leave him in the evenings where he's comfortable and not ask him to go into new territory on this episode. But I don't like also the like, oh, let's identify that. When I'm out birding with groups, which I've done a number of times, I'll do whatever level of interest I have for that bird and then continue along. But I
See
find
something else.
sometimes they'll be like, we're going to stay on this bird for an hour. And I'm like, come on, who fucking cares? I want to go
Yeah.
see something. For whatever reason, I'm not that into that bird.
And I think I'm pretty spoiled where I live. I've got these 2 massive hawks that live in the tree behind me. I get blue jays all the time. I've got magpies all the time. Lots of crows, which I like a lot.
Now, you said we didn't see much.
No, didn't see much. It wasn't ideal, but we had one really
We had a
amazing
couple,
encounter.
actually. Well, let's talk about the first few. What did we see?
We saw a lot of red-winged blackbirds.
Yes, we saw quite a few of them in the top of a tree.
Well, we saw one at the top of a tree that we were kind of puzzling to identify. And that's what's hard about birding is like they can be juvenile. The female looks different than the male. There's a lot of like factors that you have to go into. So we were kind of puzzled about what that bird was, but I'm pretty sure it was a female red-winged blackbird that we saw
Yes.
at the top of the tree to start. And red-winged blackbirds are amazing. They're beautiful birds, but for me, it's a relatively common occurrence. I see them often. And I know Andrew does
but
too.
I saw we saw them in the grass when
Yep.
we came by that area, that lake area.
And
with
that's
all the
usually where they
marshy-
are, near water on the top of
Yeah, they like to
reeds
perch
and
on the
stuff.
cattails.
Yeah.
And they're the very satisfying, very comforting call you hear anytime you're in like a swampy area.
They got
Yeah.
these lovely red stripes on
Yeah,
their
this
shoulders.
beautiful
They're
stripe
cool
across
looking
the-
birds.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
I saw one and I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
So that was cool. We saw what I think was a sandpiper, of some sort.
Ron and I have
Although now
discussed
it could be a plover.
it could have been a plover.
Reports are coming in now.
Yeah, this just came in. Late
What?
breaking news.
Are they
Andrew
still,
did get a photo.
But are all the precincts in on
No.
Plover?
No.
Okay.
No, they're recounting.
We haven't
98%
we haven't called
reported.
it for plover. But
Haven't called it for plover, but I don't know.
But
Ron's convincing me.
the precincts that are reporting now are highly for Plover.
Yeah,
I mean, the
but
vast
there's a lot
majority.
of like people who are they even citizens for coming in talking about is this a plover? And it's like I'm glad you like
so a
plovers,
plover
but
then
where are you
would
from?
look quite similar then to a sandpiper.
Yeah,
And we do have sandpipers here, and a lot of people think of them as being mostly seabirds.
yeah, but they're just kind
we
of
have
any body
seagulls
of
too.
water.
The king
Yeah.
supers by my house. There's like this flock of seagulls that just loves the trash.
Yeah,
that's
but
blowing
never
around
trust
in
an
the
inland
wind.
seagull.
Oh,
You
it's
can't.
hilarious.
You
Somebody
can't
asked
trust
me, like, I don't really know why seagulls are inland everywhere hanging out at parking lots. I think birds
Cigarette
are just
butts.
opportunists.
Yeah, because
I'll tell
it's
you,
their,
that's
it's their
why.
choice diet of cigarette butts and used rubbers.
I've seen a seagull eat a clean rubber. So
But I'll tell you, he did it out of necessity. It was.
it wasn't his first choice,
No,
but it was the only thing there.
if you could get a little gack in there, a little.
Okay, wait a minute.
I
Are all of us?
You guys walked
We
me
all-
into that.
I think all three of us. Yep. All right,
Yeah.
Andrew, you started it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm coming over for a whapping.
And
And then
I,
guess I'll take
I'm
one in
glad you.
Because I yes-anded for sure. And then Ben took it and ran with it. We're just fucking, we can't stop.
We're juvenile though. That's what it is. So Andrew's about to get himself whapped. So
And to any listeners at home, we're masked up.
yes,
We're
Relax,
properly,
we're doing this
safely
responsibly.
whapping.
I don't think I should get one because I just tagged on to what you guys were saying.
You're getting one.
Yeah, you took it. You made us realize there was a problem with Gap.
Okay.
We just thought it was normal until then. All right, my turn.
These people walking
Wait,
by.
I don't want it on my ring finger. Ow, that was a bad shot, but whatever. I took it.
All right.
I don't have to fucking. You get one shot. All right, Ben.
shanked it.
This is such bullshit.
Oh,
Gack-
no.
But
The park ranger's gonna
Here
fucking.
comes the park ranger to kick these three nasty
I
boys
didn't
out.
gack. I don't see how gack is a. Ah! Fuck.
Sorry.
I don't see how gack is like sexual.
You don't see how
It's
Gak-
the end of an encounter.
It's the denouement.
It's the evening of the encounter.
Just raw Craigslist over here.
All right. Well, that was a nice Seagulls riff, but we had to end it through our filthy, filthy
That's
mouths.
so funny to me, though, thinking of ejaculating as being the evening of when I reached the evening of our encounter.
You're just a glutton for being hit with that
All
thing.
right.
Well, it wasn't a double entendre about birds, which
I
was
know.
the
And he's
sort of-
already, he can finish the,
he might as well wallow while we're in the mud for a little bit before we get back up.
But anyway, so yes, we saw red-winged blackbirds. We saw a plover or a sandpiper. We're
Right.
not
saw
sure.
chickadee,
but-
We saw chickadees. We saw.
chickadees. Now
magpies,
that's
we
my
saw
home
flicker.
state bird.
I like
Maine
a
is-
chicken.
Maine
They're
state bird.
cute, and I like their call, right?
yeah, man, I got
chickadee.
a tattoo of a chickadee. I love chickadees.
Yeah,
They're great little guys.
Great bird, great markings. But we did get one rare sighting.
Yeah, and it was actually kind of why I love birding. It was just sort of every time you see something unique, to me, being a fan of this pastime, there's a sort of magic to it. And we were in the back of the lake.
At the very end of
At
it.
the very end of it, it was getting pretty dark, and we were kind of going through an area that we were like, there's going to be a lot of like runaways in here. It was a
Yeah.
very kind of strange.
Yeah, there'd
off the
be
beaten
there'd
path
be people
area.
that were sleeping in the park.
Yeah, and every once in a while we'd see like a backpack or some stray clothing. It
An
felt a little
abandoned
unsafe.
stroller. Nothing creepy about that.
Oh
Say
yeah,
again?
we did see a stroller.
Abandoned stroller.
Yeah.
Felt a little unsafe. But then we came upon a really murky pond, and Ron, junior ornithologist Ron Doyle,
Yeah.
spotted something, and we looked back there, and it was two wood ducks, and then two male wood ducks, which are beautiful birds.
They're like
We'll post a picture of it.
yeah, and the way their markings are through the dark. I mean, it was fairly dark by this
Yeah.
point. You could see this neon kind of color on them.
and a
I
lot
mean,
of
these
different like
mark-
different patches of color on the face, clearly delineated. Like, so it's you're able to identify it. And then the female was right there with them, and they didn't like that we spotted them, and so they flew off very quickly. But like,
I think I missed the wood ducks. Is
Yeah,
this when
you
the
were-
muskrat was out?
you were ahead of us chasing rodents again.
Yeah, you were
I was
chasing.
going for that muskrat. But I'll post those shots. and you
also,
tell
be
me,
sure to pick-
listener, what you prefer.
Be sure to pick up a copy of Andrew's autobiography, Chasing Rodents.
I mean, y'all have heard
Um,
of birding? I go ratting. You guys, y'all want to go ratting? There's some good ones around
Lot of
here.
variety of rats.
Yeah.
Based
Back
off of
in the alley behind the Italian restaurant over there. Good ratting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a Norway brown right there. That's a common ship right here. Giant white sewer over here.
This one's just your textbook city nuzzler.
No, the wood duck is a
Not native to here.
not native to here. It's
migrating through.
migratory.
Right. That's kind of the magic of birding, especially during a migration season. These strange birds that are not native to here will fly through and rest en route to wherever they're going.
I think
you get a chance to see 'em.
they tend to be southern Canada, like Montana area, and they're heading to Mexico or
Right.
towards the
Warmer
border.
weather. To me, that's fascinating. And like what the beauty of birding is if you get into it, it's a treasure hunt. And all these amazing birds are here. They're just in the city, especially if you go out and seek them, they're more common. And they're there to be discovered if you want to. But it's always, you don't know what it's going to be. And that mystery is like exciting.
Yeah, I did enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I like things that have a lot of minutia, and there's a lot of like having to pick details off them. Is it a male or a female? You tend to get out of your own head and into the activity with it. And so I thought it was great, and I felt the exhilaration when I was like, "What is that?" Because a wood duck is a good sized bird.
And you've seen wood ducks because you're from Maine.
Yeah, and actually, my parents, they had gone on vacation one time, came home, and walked in the door and thought their house had been burglarized because the house was fucked up. The living room was turned upside down, and they at first, I guess, they stepped back out the door or whatever. But then after that, apparently, my stepfather, he's somebody that is very meticulous with home security, shall we say, in a rural area.
He got guns.
Yeah. So he entered and discovered feathers around, and they found out.
So the
that
robbers had a pillow fight. I get it.
So they
A
might have been
group of-
sexy robbers.
Okay, that earns you
No,
one.
not about
That's
birds.
sexual. If I can't say a silhouette, I just commented on the bird's silhouette.
Fine.
You said sexy, you
Fine.
stupid fucking creep.
I thought
You're a
pillow
creep.
fighting
No, and you're a
sexy
creep,
robbers
and
is
you're
pretty
making
cool.
this dirty.
Fuck
if I
you.
get penalized for saying a gack-filled condom, then I think that. And I want you to take this lesson, because it is imperative that you learn that.
Boy, the only thing worse than being whacked is by just getting the lecture from Gag.
And I want you to know this, that you deserve this. You brought this on yourself.
Fuck.
Now, and you had that coming.
Yeah, the whapping I had coming, but the fucking pedantic dad speech I did not deserve.
But anyway, so now a heavily armed stepfather, my stepfather, discovers these feathers before I so garishly interrupted. And my stepfather enters, sees all these feathers around, and they discover that a wood duck had come down the chimney and got in through the fireplace and fucked their place up. It's a good-sized bird.
Jesus.
It destroyed a bunch of shit, freaking out. And they found it, I guess it was like lodged behind something in the chimney, like lodged back
Was it
there.
dead?
No, it was still alive and angry as fuck.
Oh my
Like
God.
real pissed off. And he had to remove it. I think he had to put a glove on, but like grab this thing by the neck. But it's a big ass bird.
And that's when they discovered they hadn't been burglarized, they'd been birdlarized. I'm Adam Caton Holland, and this has been Birding in the Park with Andrew and Ben. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll be back next week
I
with
think
more
we should-
anecdotes.
Listen,
I think
not
we
a
should hit Adam just for that. But,
yeah, not a sexual comment, but definitely
but it
off-putting.
makes me angry.
Yeah. It makes me angry like
Burglarized.
sex does. But anyway, a good sized bird.
Yeah, and
did
we
not
saw
wanna
two
be
of them,
seen.
and that was by
crazy.
far the highlight.
And there was
of
a
the,
third one there.
a female.
Yes,
Sorry, we saw three. Two males.
two
which are
males
the
and
more,
a female.
Typically, males are the more resplendent. With
Yeah, they're
birds.
very vibrant color. But
Yeah.
the female was beautiful as well.
Yeah, very signature kind of white circle near the eye.
And we caught them, and they were like, "Fuck!" And they
Boned out.
chirped
Did
out.
not want to be seen.
Pardon, chirped out. Okay. Anyway,
I love that.
No credit for that.
To me, that's
Ass
like
face gets credit for his stupid.
no one gave me credit. I just kept going. It's like when you're a bad comedian and you're not getting laughs, so you just speed talk through it all.
Yeah, I've seen your set. I know.
That's what I was doing with that riff.
You were doing your old Ben Roy. Talk faster and louder.
And then you won't hear that they're not laughing.
Uh,
For me, also, there's a piece that comes with it, but I do find, I think people think because I'm into it that I'm like some expert. People always on Twitter are like, "What's this bird?" I don't know shit. This is like a hard hobby. There's so many birds.
Yeah.
But I'm excited that like I hope when I'm 65, I'm a killer birder like the old dudes I'll go out birding with.
yeah, I also think that this is something that anybody can do.
Yes.
It's very cost effective. Like it's not very cost prohibitive.
Well, and Ron and I were talking about this before you showed up, but you always talk about like you're not that big an outdoors guy. You don't like to go up and hike and stuff but you seem to be very happy being out in this open space, which is right in the middle of fucking Denver.
My problem with being with outdoorsy shit is not the outdoors. It's that usually if you're camping or something, you're far away from civilization,
Right.
and that's where my anxiety kicks up.
Right.
But as far as being outdoors and being in the middle of nature, that's where I grew up. You know,
Yeah.
and I truly enjoyed this. I would say for me, I could definitely see myself doing this. Again, I'd like to go I'm an evening guy. Always be an evening guy through and through.
Here it is.
go.
The hard punch at
I'm
the
just
end.
saying.
You know that we're both evening guys.
Yeah, I know, but I would love to try to go in the morning and see if I can get it like right as the sun's coming up. See if I could see some different stuff.
I'm psyched. I want to do that with you. Let's do it.
Okay,
Andrew,
Andrew, would
won't-
you?
we don't need to.
Y'all want to
invite
go
you.
ratting? Come on. I know a fried chicken spot not too far from here. Best ratting in the city.
I like to camp at the Colorado State Fair. Wait for it to leave.
Yeah.
Okay,
Come
so
in for the rat.
Then
Two
they
mean
come
challenge.
in. Get my binocs out.
Here's a mean challenge for our fans. If you could, one, make Ben Roy evening salesman, and two would be Andrew Orvidal ratting.
Professional ratter. I just hope that by the time I'm 65, I can be one of those rat guys who they just come when I whistle and they crawl up my.
You
long-
know, a ratter's never lived past 50 in the history of rat. There's not a chance.
But why are you shooting down? He could be the first.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He
Yeah,
could.
you don't know.
He doesn't look like it. Not in this.
I wouldn't be against. Like I said, it didn't like grab me the activity, but it was still pleasant. You know, it's nice to hang out with your friends, and you know, we got to walk around. I'd like to go to a place like Pawnee National Grasslands or
You've invited me to do that before, and we didn't.
some sort of like specific place to like. Let's see what's out of the ordinary here. Maybe the impact was lost to me because I go to Prospect Park all the time.
100%. That makes a lot of sense. And there's levels. It's like we could be birding right now through City Park, or we could go see the sandhill crane migration in Nebraska. It'd be a much more, storied experience.
Yeah.
But it's like whatever level you want. But I hear you.
But as far
I
as
guess I'm just one of those trashy birders that just wants the glitz. I don't want the regular shit.
You want the big
I need the
dogs.
spectacle birds.
I want it now.
Kind of like my taste in movies.
you want a blockbuster bird.
But
Yeah,
just
I want
to
summer
reiterate,
blockbuster birds.
I really truly believe.
So give me an example of what a summer blockbuster bird is.
Oh, like that hawk that I saw the other day. I
Okay.
mean, that thing was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't want these little pint size.
Nah,
Oh my
I
god,
want
is
a
it a
bird that I
sparrow
can
or a
imagine
finch?
carrying off a chihuahua. Like,
Yeah.
The saddest part and the most ironic part of this is like a turducken for you because that hawk is likely filled full of your precious rats. I mean,
Gosh,
there's
I
some
didn't think
very
about that.
Yeah, I mean, a whole new approach for you would be to take down that hawk, cut it open, see what rats are in
Oh,
there.
you ratting through the bird. Yeah, dude.
Just think of birding as an indirect ratting.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way.
But anyway, people listening, the great thing about this truly is that it's something you can do, especially in the middle of the pandemic. You can do it on your own. It's a great thing to get out. It's meditative. It's relaxing, and it's not cost prohibitive. I recommend people giving it a shot. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break? Why don't we listen to some more stand-up comedy from our show that once was and hopefully will be again. This is a super funny comic. It took us forever to get her on the show, but once we did, we were pumped because she crushed it. So everybody enjoy Eliza Skinner, and when we come back, we'll give you the skinny on what the next challenge will be.
I had a guy ask me on a date one time. He was like, "Okay, do you like cats or dogs?" And I was like, "What, to draw? Are you serious? Are we 6 years old? You're asking me my favorite animal? Like I can't like both?" And I can like both cats and dogs. And clearly, by the way that I'm answering, the answer is cats. I think the only reason to ask that question is to rule out all the people who are like, cats or dogs? Neither. I like birds. Have you noticed that they have knives for noses? And their eyes look like marbles pushed into tiny buttholes. I let mine shit everywhere. I said that to a friend of mine. He was like, "Oh yeah, bird people are so weird. I knew this girl, she had like a buttload of birds." And I was like, that doesn't sound like that many birds. Like it depends a lot on the person and the birds, like what they're willing to put up with. I feel like for me, it's like maybe one bird, but I don't know. It's a guess. It's I haven't checked. I'm sorry. I keep getting texts from another audience. Like, oh, you guys were funny too. I don't know, you know? It's like, let go.
Well, that's that, everybody. Thanks for tuning into this episode.
What a good episode.
Great
That
episode.
Eliza Skinner. She is the best.
Eliza's hilarious. And I got to say, I'm really, really proud of us this episode because of the sub challenge. I thought my knuckles would be bloody. I think I got 2 whaps the entire way. We all really rose to the challenge and behaved like adult gentlemen.
Yeah, and people don't know this about the world of birding. There are more opportunities than you would think.
Big
Yeah.
time.
A
There's
lot of
titmouse,
breasts, a lot of tits.
There's breasts.
jazz,
there's bush,
jizz.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
It's all right there.
So way to go, you two. Proud of you and surprised by you constantly. That's why this friendship works.
Yeah. Yeah. Those of you that are listening, if you have
They're all
not,
listening. Every single person's listening.
If they're hearing you talking
If they're
right now,
hearing
they're
this, they're
listening.
all listening.
those of you that are listening,
Okay. Those of you that are actually hearing what Ben's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody
Uh,
might
just
have this on as
listening.
background music because you can't sleep.
but
if
for
you're actively
all
listening,
of our fans, if you have not checked out our Patreon page, you should definitely do that. We have all kinds of bonus content, deleted content, unedited episodes. This episode, you can see us hitting each other with the weapon spatch if you want. You can
you see
also
bird
check out
pics.
some of that Ansel Adams-esque photography, wildlife photography that Andrew did. There's some great content up there. So if you're interested in supporting us, because this helps us continue to do all these challenges, your support, it means a lot to us. Just go to patreon.com/Grolic Saves.
And you can listen and enjoy this podcast wherever you digest podcasts.
Including
You can-
Spotify.
including Spotify. You can also check us out on social media at Grolix Comedy. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. If you spot any cool birds, share them with us. If you have bird questions, definitely ask Adam what it is. What are you seeing?
Excited to
Coast to
answer.
coast.
I have nothing to do.
Are you in the woods of Finland? Send Adam the pictures of your birds.
Of your evil goth death metal owl.
And as always, what helps us out more than anything is just telling friends, family, whoever about our podcast if you enjoy it, because that's how it actually grows like a virus.
I would like to thank our producer, antique egg thief Ron Doyle, in trouble with a lot of museums around the world for capturing
What a cool
various
crime.
obscure eggs of extinct
California condor egg. That's his most prized possession.
That's the only way he can get hard is stealing these very obscure bird eggs.
Do we
from around
spatch
the world.
him?
No, we're
No,
not.
we're
outside.
post.
We did
I didn't
it.
say
no,
that.
no.
Yep,
We're in the
okay.
we're in the epilogue safe zone. Go ahead and be as nasty and gross as you
If you meet Ron in real life, ask to see his antique.
Ask to
extinct
get a
egg
gander
collection.
at Ron's eggs. That's what you got to ask.
And our theme music is provided by the
Peerless.
No, you said Peerless last time. The Irascible
Oh, okay.
Charlie Continental.
All right.
So that brings us to what is the next episode's challenge?
And we're just
Let's
going
see,
to
it's
get
got to
right
be
into
around
it.
Thanksgiving time. We each have to eat an entire turkey.
Nope.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
In
whoa,
under
whoa, whoa.
30
How will that
minutes.
make us better?
This Thanksgiving, we're giving thanks for all the people on Patreon who really are so generous with their support by taking a few of their suggestions for challenges and just doing them.
Oh, like a few challenges.
Like we're each doing one specific
Whoa,
challenge.
that's going to be awesome.
As requested by people
and
from
totally suggestions from Patreon.
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be great. And that's why you have to subscribe to our Patreon page. But in the meantime, this is the only reason I come out to these stupid fucking parks. It's just so I
Other
get
than
to
to
say
sell
this.
us on the night.
Yet, no. Play us out, Charlie.
Are there any heroes left at all? A few strong souls that pick us up when we fall down. We look around for those rare kinds of folks, but the best we did was these dumb jerks that town they took. We're getting fixed, our worries are nixed. Let's have some kick while the frolic says we're getting fixed.